Russia didn't just change a space station design, it quietly changed its entire future in orbit. What was once promoted as a brand new next-generation station has now been revealed as something very different. In this video we break down how this shift happened, why Russia reversed course, and why this decision matters far beyond one country or one station. For several years, Russia presented the Russian Orbital Station, or ROS, as a clean break from the past. The plan was ambitious, a fully new station built from modern modules, capable of operating autonomously for extended periods, and placed in a polar orbit about 400 kilometers above Earth. This orbit would allow the station to pass over all of Russia, offering strategic coverage and restoring national prestige in human spaceflight. Just as important, ROS was meant to redefine launch logistics. By flying in a polar orbit, Russia could conduct crewed launches directly from the Vostochny Cosmodrome in eastern Russia, reducing dependence on Baikonur in Kazakhstan. That shift carried both political and economic significance and justified years of investment in new infrastructure. That entire vision changed with a single announcement. Russian officials confirmed that ROS will no longer be built exclusively from new hardware. Instead, its core will be formed from the Russian segment of the International Space Station. This decision was approved by Roscosmos' Scientific and Technical Council, making it official policy rather than a temporary workaround. The orbital change that followed explains everything. ROS will now remain in a 51.6-degree inclination, the same orbit used by the ISS. This orbit is practical for separation but incompatible with the original polar orbit concept. It also means Vostochny loses its intended role in regular crewed missions, while Baikonur remains central. Reusing existing ISS modules may appear efficient, but it comes with unavoidable technical and scientific consequences. The Russian modules now expected to form ROS have spent decades in orbit, exposed to constant radiation, thermal cycling, and mechanical stress. These effects cannot be undone by rebranding or relocation. Russian scientists themselves have raised concerns in the past. Officials from the Institute of Biomedical Problems previously warned that long-term microbial accumulation aboard the ISS, bacteria and fungi introduced over hundreds of missions, poses risks to both human health and onboard systems. These microorganisms can damage insulation, wiring, seals, and electronic components. At the time, those concerns were cited as reasons to pursue a new station. The contradiction is striking. The same modules once described as increasingly problematic are now positioned as the foundation of Russia's future in orbit. The hardware has not changed, but the narrative has. Operational data reinforces the issue. Russian crews aboard the ISS already devote roughly half their time to maintenance. This level of upkeep reduces time available for experiments, technology testing, and long-term research. Turning these same modules into ROS does not reduce that burden, it locks it in. There is also a mismatch between ambition and capability. ROS was originally promoted as being able to function autonomously for months. That concept requires modern systems designed for remote monitoring, redundancy, and low-maintenance operation. ISS-era modules were built for constant human presence and international support, not prolonged autonomy. Russia's decision becomes even more significant when viewed alongside global developments in human spaceflight. Other spacefaring nations are moving forward with platforms designed specifically for the next several decades, not retrofitted from the last one. China's Tiangong space station represents a modern, purpose-built approach. Its modules were designed together, launched recently, and optimized for today's research goals. It offers a clear example of what a fresh start in orbit can achieve when design, funding, and long-term planning align. In the United States, NASA is preparing for life after the ISS through a different model. Rather than replacing it with another government-owned station, NASA is encouraging commercially operated orbital platforms. This approach spreads financial risk, accelerates innovation, and allows multiple stations to serve different scientific and industrial roles. India is also entering the picture, with public statements indicating plans for its own space station later in the decade. While timelines remain flexible, the direction is clear: new entrants are building forward, not recycling backward. Against this backdrop, Russia's strategy stands apart. Officials have suggested that maintaining a 51.6-degree orbit could allow future interaction with an Indian station. However, no formal framework or timeline has been announced, and India's station remains in the planning phase. Orbital compatibility alone does not guarantee meaningful collaboration. What Russia ultimately preserves is presence, not influence. ROS ensures continued human spaceflight capability, but it does not position Russia as a leader shaping orbital research, architecture, or partnerships. Investments tied to the original ROS vision lose relevance, and strategic flexibility narrows. Russia's new space station plan isn't about exploration, it's about endurance. By recycling ISS modules, Russia preserves access to orbit, but sacrifices the chance to redefine its role there. This decision reflects financial pressure, technical constraints, and a shifting global landscape where innovation moves faster than legacy systems can follow. ROS will keep Russia in space, but it won't lead space forward. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.